Welcome back, everyone. There is a new rumor making the rounds about a new Fire Emblem game coming. The questions are, though, what does this rumor mean? Is it a genealogy of the Holy War Remake? And is this rumor even legitimate? We got this rumor thanks to a post on LinkedIn. It was first noticed by Dr.81 on YouTube. Thanks for this, dude. So this LinkedIn post is from an individual stating that he worked on the sequel of Nintendo's strategy role-playing game for Switch 2 as a character modeler from January 2025 to April 2025. Fire Emblem is the only strategy RPG series Nintendo has. Games like Advance Wars and Codename Steam, which Nintendo own, are more firmly in the strategy genre rather than being strategy role-playing games. Fire Emblem is about the only thing it could be when this guy says strategy role-playing game. Now, a couple of quick things. Takeshi Maruyama is the owner of this LinkedIn profile. English is not his first language. So it is very likely he meant to say he worked on a new installment of Nintendo's strategy RPG series instead of saying sequel. He even misspelled his own name on his LinkedIn profile, so take sequel with a huge grain of salt. It is likely a brand new Fire Emblem game or remake, and not a sequel to an existing Fire Emblem title. The misspelling of Takeshi Maruyama's own name seems genuine, and I don't think it's an indicator of a fake account. Because I found he has an account on ArtStation too, but with his name correctly spelled. With the correct name spelling, I found he is listed in the credits of Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis as a character modeler. So it seems this guy is legit. This rumor definitely holds some water. It seems that a man named Takeshi Maruyama indeed worked on a strategy RPG for Nintendo. Fire Emblem is the only strategy RPG series that Nintendo owns, so if the game is a sequel or new installment of a Nintendo strategy RPG, it almost has to be part of that series. Interesting is that Intelligent Systems, the developers for Fire Emblem, have their offices in Kyoto and not Tokyo. And Takeshi Maruyama said he worked on the game in Tokyo. This really means nothing though. Remote work is becoming more common nowadays, so it could have simply been that. Or maybe there was a Nintendo-affiliated support studio based in Tokyo that Takeshi Maruyama was part of that worked on the project. So is this game the long-rumored Fire Emblem Genealogy of the Holy War Remake that has been rumored about for years now? Not necessarily. Character modeling is something that usually happens very early on in a game's development. Yes, there are exceptions, and some work on character modeling can happen in the later stages. So perhaps Maruyama was brought in for some late-stage development support. But a very likely scenario is that it was a new Fire Emblem game he worked on, which could be years away from release still. Nintendo is known to sit on finished games, waiting to release them at the time they think is best. The last Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Engage, is an example of this. It finished production in 2021, but was not actually released until 2023. So there is speculation the Genealogy remake is already done and just waiting to be released. But no one can say for sure, and only speculation exists. To think they could only be starting development on a Genealogy remake now, though, seems incredibly unlikely given how long it has been rumored for. More likely is that a brand new Fire Emblem game is already being worked on. And that is what Takeshi Maruyama was involved with. The likely scenario is a new Fire Emblem game is already finished, waiting to be released. After all, if we look at Fire Emblem's release schedule over the years, there is not usually more than a 2-year gap between the releases of new Fire Emblem games. However, this includes spin-off games. So, I think the odds are in your favor if you were to bet on something Fire Emblem related being announced this year. What do you all think of this rumor? What do you think this guy was working on? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for joining me for this rumor check, everyone. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the future for more JRPG rumor checks. Peace.